something's creeping, it's right outside. So come on in, don't be shy. We've got ghosts and UFOs. Brace yourself, get ready for the show. Don't be afraid of the dark. The fun's about to start. Nightmares or tales will inspire. Oh, tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Have you heard tell of a demon next door? Or maybe a cryptid on the lake shore? There's nothing too strange for us here. So if you're ready, stamp out your fear. Don't be afraid of the dark. The fun's about to start. Nightmares or tales will inspire. Tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Whoa, whoa.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 21 of the Scaredy Campfires. Tonight the fire carries whispers, thin echoes of things that should have faded, yet refuse to let go. These are the stories that remind us the past does not always stay buried, and what answers back from the silence may not be what you expect. The flames may be bright, but every flicker reveals more than it hides. Kitchens hold their own kind of ghosts, recipes passed down, secrets whispered behind swinging doors. For Reddit user u/Bert the Baker, a lifelong skeptic who's spent years debunking the strange tales of old English pubs, the supernatural was always someone else's story. Until one cold, rainy morning at 6 a.m., when the walk-in freezer he thought he knew so well began to feel like something else entirely. Footsteps echoed, a shape moved, and for the first time, he couldn't explain what he'd seen. Hello all. I work as a chef in the UK, so have worked in a lot of old English pubs that are supposedly haunted. Throughout my years in the trade, various colleagues have put even the most silliest things down to paranormal activity, but I've always been able to debunk or come up with a rational explanation for them. Fast forward to this morning, 6 a.m. cold and rainy, as it always is over here lol, and I'm putting my delivery away in the walk-in freezer. Now for context, our walk-in freezer where we store all our bulk stuff is not directly connected to the kitchen and is instead round the back of the building that requires an additional key to get through the security gate. And I'm just mentioning this so we can rule out any members of the public or other stuff as a reason, as it's only me that would have access at the time. Anyways, for convenience when putting away my delivery, I always prop the door up with a large slab at the doors. On a lot of older walk-in freezers are very heavy and designed so that if you don't fully shut them, they will naturally lock into place from the weight. So I just finished putting my last box away, knocked the light off, and had just removed the slab at the door slowly, started to shut when I could hear the footsteps clear as day coming from inside the walk-in freezer. I turned around and I could see a figure moving in the back. I instantly put my hand out to catch the door to stop it from fully shutting. In that moment, assuming that one of my colleagues or the owner had gone in whilst I was getting my next box. And I shouted out, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you go in there." But as I knocked the light back on and walked in, there was nothing. Nobody there. No sign of anything. And it's just baffled me. At the time, I kind of just tried to put it to the back of my mind and get on with my work. But sitting there, now on my break, I just can't explain it and can't think of any rational way of debunking that. It's just the fact I heard footsteps as well as seeing something that's making it really hard to interpret. To this day, the baker can't shake the sound of those footsteps, or the glimpse of that figure in the freezer's dim light. Was it a trick of exhaustion, the mind conjuring shadows in the early hours? Or was it something older, something lingering in the walls of an English pub, where countless lives and stories have passed? Some places hide their history in plain sight. Others let it walk right past you. Some fears don't come from shadows moving or doors slamming. They come from the quiet certainty that you're not alone. For Reddit user u/present custard 6586, it was supposed to be an ordinary first night in her boyfriend's childhood home, but in the small dark bedroom with the weight of old memories hanging in the air, she woke to a sound that shouldn't have been there. Footsteps on a floor, a man's breathing in the dark, and a presence that seemed to be waiting. I've been debating posting about this for months because I'm not usually the type to share anything online. I prefer being the quiet observer, but I haven't been able to get this out of my head. English isn't my first native language, so please excuse any weird wording. The night it happened, I frantically wrote down everything in my notes app, but since I have lost my then current phone, I will try to scrap everything together by memory. A few months ago, my best friend slash boyfriend, who is 27 male and I 23 female, traveled to his hometown to stay with his parents. That time would be the first night I spent there. He had an incredibly hard time growing up due to his father being an alcoholic and a violent man. I won't get into detail because it's not my story to tell, but because I myself have had multiple bad experiences with drunk and men, it's safe to say I was a bit scared. I've met his father before, his mom is still married to him, and my friend is in constant contact with her. Everyone was civil. I tried to be polite and not rattle anything. It's all a bit complicated. Anyhow, my friend and I got tired after dinner and fell asleep in his childhood bedroom. We've had a long day and pretty much just passed out. At some point in the night, I suddenly shut awake, heart pounding. I was just staring into the darkness, afraid to move. I was absolutely certain that there was someone standing in the room. It's a small room with only a bed and a small couch left. I could very clearly hear the floor shifting like it only does under someone's weight. And there was breathing. The sound of a man just standing there breathing. I was freaking out, thinking his dad might have gotten drunk and was now standing in the middle of the room near the door, just looming. I freeze up in panic and I was just waiting for something to happen, thinking, what if he tried to hurt my friend again, or even me? What if I had to break up a fight? Anything. After a while, I couldn't take it anymore and woke up my friend, telling him very quietly that I thought someone was in the room with us. He was half asleep and just told me that there's nobody there. I asked him if we could please at least turn the night lamp on. I remember this part vividly because it was like the second he turned the lamp on, everything got quiet and I stared into a very empty room. It's like someone had turned off a movie or something, or everything suddenly switched scenes. Even though relieved, I was also bewildered, swearing that I heard someone. He reminded me that we would have heard the stairs if anyone had used them, and he was right. The door was closed and nobody was there. He turned the light back off and went back to sleep, and I very, very slowly calmed down enough again to fall asleep as well. I'm sure my original notes of this had more detail, but even though I have a bad memory, I'm surprised at myself how well I remember this. My friend believed me too. That's not the problem. The scariest thing is that I told my mum about it, of course, and she wasn't surprised or shocked at all. She just told me that her and my grandmother had the same thing happen to them, that they heard a man breathing in the dark. I do not know what to make of this. I have never heard anything so vivid happen to me, and I do not believe in ghosts, nor do I suffer from sleep paralysis or anything like that. I always think, what's the point in ghosts, hauntings, when they never even do anything crazy? But honestly, I did feel true terror from just the looming threat of someone standing there, ready to attack, and just waiting, very still, dreading that something would happen. My mom's father and my grandmother's husband was also a drunk and violent man, if that is somehow relevant. I do have to admit that my heart is pounding even now, just reliving it. To this day, the user can still hear that slow, steady breathing in her mind. Was it a trick of exhaustion? A replay of old trauma that lingered in the walls of the house? Or something darker, something that visits women in the night and stands perfectly still, waiting to be noticed? Whatever it was, it left without a trace, but not without leaving its echo behind. Some silences are louder than screams. That ends episode 21, campers. Some voices are not ours to understand, but they still reach out all the same, searching, clinging, refusing to fall quiet. Until next time, hold close to the fire, steady your breath, and remember, the dark always finds a way to speak.
As the night gets longer and the darkness creeps in, with the eerie silence broken only by whispering wind, come gather round the fire, the flickering flames, and hear the tales of the spooky and the strange. A chill up your back, a shiver up your spine, you'll be haunted by the things that you find. Legends will unfold and stories will be told at the Scaredy Campfire, for only the bold